We are Team 5 and we are going to present our genetic engineering project.
In our table of contents today, we have introduction, restriction enzyme, selecting vector, ligation, separation and identification process, and conclusion.
What is molecular cloning? Molecular cloning is a process of creating multiple copies of genes and to study those specific genes. So we use this process to express or purify our gene of interest. Now, to get the DNA fragment into a bacterial cell in the form that it will be copied or it can be expressed, we have to first insert our gene of interest into a plasmid. So, the plasmid molecule here acts like a vehicle which will help us in inserting a desired DNA fragment into our vector. Modified plasmids are usually reintroduced into a bacterial host for replication. As the bacteria divide, they copy their own DNA, thereby generating copies. The gene of interest here we have explored is insulin gene, and the restriction enzyme used is EcoRI.
This part of lecture, we are going to see about the topic restriction enzyme. A restriction enzyme is also called as restriction endonuclease, a protein produced by bacteria that leaves the DNA at specific site along the molecule. In the bacterial cell, restriction enzyme leaves foreign DNA that eliminating infecting organism. A restriction enzyme can be isolated from bacterial cell and is used in the laboratory to manipulate fragments of DNA, such those that contain genes. For this reason, they are important tools of recombinant DNA technology. Here used is PUC7. It has 4 restriction enzymes and 7 restriction sites in its MCS region. Our cloned gene inserting insulin gene in PUC7 vector in the LAC gene cut by our restriction site. Our restriction enzyme used here is E. coli 1. Nomenclature of the E. coli refers to E means genus and it means Escherichia and co means coli and it refers to species or RY13 and it refers to strain and one means it was for the first one identified and it means it shows the order of the identification. Mechanism of action of E. coli. The recognition site from E. coli is GATTEC. When it treated with E. coli, which will produce the cohesive and sticky 5' sticky end. So they will produce the complementary tail.
After choosing the desired gene of interest and restriction enzyme, next stage is to manipulate it in a vector. Here we choose PUC7 of size 2.6 kilobase for manipulation. PUC is a set of vectors that was found by University of California. Basically, the vector has multiple cloning site region within LAC-Z-alpha plus gene which produces alpha peptide of beta galactosidase enzyme, ampicillin resistance gene and ORI to initiate replication. We exploit the EcoR1 site for cloning, thus it replaces the portion of LAC gene with our gene of interest and therefore called replacement vector. Multiple cloning site contains restriction site of enzymes EcoR1, BAMH1, SAV-A1 and PAR1. Ampicillin resistance gene is used to screen the cells that contain only our vector and LAC-Z-alpha plus gene is used for selecting the positive clones and subcloning it further to get accurate results. ORI and ampicillin resistance gene are manipulated from PBR322 vector.
We are now moving on to the next step, that is DNA ligation. I would like to start off by giving you a brief introduction about what DNA ligation is. The process of genetic engineering is made effective by the action of two enzymes, namely restriction enzymes and ligases. Restriction enzyme called molecular scissors cut the desired DNA and its carrying vector at the specific sites, whereas the ligase enzyme called molecular glue paste these DNA fragments into the vector. The process of using ligase enzyme for joining the two ends of a DNA strand is called ligation. In this process, there occurs a synthesis of phosphodiester bond between the 3' hydroxyl of one nucleotide and the 5' phosphate of another. Different parameters affect ligation, such as the ratio of insert to the vector, the quality, and the type of DNA ends, the ligation temperature, and the DNA concentration. Each of these factors is necessary for the successful ligation. We know that DNA ligation is the act of joining together DNA strands with the aim of making new viable DNA or the plasmids. We have previously generated sticky ends after treating our vector with ECOR1. In order to ligate, we need our gene of interest, insulin, to have complementary sticky ends as well. This is achieved through homopolymer tailing. A homopolymer is simply a polymer in which all the subunits are the same. Tailing involves using the enzyme terminal deoxynucleotide transferase to add a series of nucleotides onto the 3' OH termini of a double stranded DNA molecule. Unlike most DNA polymerases, it does not require a template. In this reaction is carried out in the presence of just one deoxynucleotide, then the homopolymer tail will be produced. In this method, the gene of interest is tailed with one nucleotide and the vector is tailed with the complementary base. Here, our vector is added with a repeating unit of deoxycytine and our gene of interest with the repeating unit of deoxyguanosine. The homopolymer tails enable the annealing assisted ligation of the GOI with the vector. A new recombinant vector can be introduced into the bacterial cells that can produce many copies of the inserted DNA.
There are three regions in our selected plasmid vector, E. coli ori, then two selectable markers. One is ampicillin resistance gene and laxid gene with unique restriction site for inserting our gene of interest. Under normal conditions, this laxid gene forms the enzyme beta galactosidase, but when we insert our gene of interest, it is not that case. So now when we are inserting a gene of interest using ECO-R1 restriction enzyme, the insertion of this laxid gene is no more functional. This is called insertional inactivation.
After insertional inactivation, particular bacteria cannot synthesize a beta galactosidase, and we use this difference to select favorable colonies. Now, moving on to blue white screening after transformation experiment. We take three types of colonies: non transformed, which acts as a control, transformed with non recombinant, and transformed with recombinant vector. As you can see, in transformed with non recombinant, the vector is unchanged. Whereas in the case of transformed with recombinant vector, a gene of interest is present in the LAC region, so this region is no more active.
Let's get into how selection occurs. So, we have a medium that contains ampicillin, XGAL, and IPTG. IPTG is an inducer of beta galactosidase gene. It binds to the repressor and favors the production of beta galactosidase. Non transformed colonies cannot grow in an ampicillin medium as it does not have the vector, so it is very easy to eliminate the non transformed ones. In the case of transformed with non recombinant vector, there is no insertion, so this vector will synthesize beta galactosidase.
Beta galactosidase will convert this XGAL into a blue product so that transformed with non-recombinant vector will appear as blue colonies, whereas in the case of transformed with recombinant vector, the colonies remain white due to absence of beta galactosidase. Thus, it is very easy to select transformed non-recombinant colonies from transformed recombinant colonies.
So finally, we are here at the conclusion part of our presentation. We have finally cloned our gene of interest, that is insulin producing gene, by using E. coli as the restriction enzyme and PUC7 as the vector. Throughout this presentation, we have learned many recombination process, starting from selecting vector, restriction enzyme, how to ligate, how to make sticky ends, etc. After our gene of interest get replicated along with our bacteria's plasmid, it's time to separate our gene of interest from the plasmid. We have to separate it by using electrophoresis. In this modern era, over billion of people suffer from diabetes. Even we have many modes of insulin intake such as oral and injection. So there is a huge demand for insulin production. This can be sorted out by large production of insulin production gene by the process we have learned through our presentation. This insulin production will sure make many people's life more healthier and happier.
Credits and contributions. Introduction by Manase and Sindhuja. Restriction enzyme by Madhavan and Manikandan. Selecting vector by Kiran Kumar and Nambearuran. Ligation by Sarayu and Murshida. Separation and identification process by Mridula and Kritika. Conclusion by Lokesh and Kiruba Shankar.